Welcome back to Dribble and Drive for the March Madness episode. We're going and creating a bracket together, kind
Special
of
edition.
special edition episode. Absolutely. This is kind of raw. Um, it's early. Selection Sunday was yesterday. It's Monday morning, so we're just hopping on and putting a bracket together. So starting off with Duke Siena,
Yeah.
unfortunately, as Merrimack fans.
Yeah. I mean, not too much to be said about it here. Like we said, all four final four seeds or all four one seeds made the final four last year. Duke won their conference. I don't know how you can go against them. They have a top three draft pick. Even if you don't like Duke, you gotta take them.
Absolutely. I mean, assuming they can stop Gavin Doty. Did does Siena have any size to kind of slow down Boozer so they don't have to bring doubles, or what do you think? Like they lost Chandler.
Siena does have good size. They don't have Chandler, but they have those two other kids, the Musgrave. What do you have? Like 6 blocks in the conference championship? He's kind of this unathletic center, but hey, they do have like that's what killed Merrimack in the conference championship. So they do have the size to match up with Duke. So I guess if Gavin Doty can just do his thing, I mean, he's super efficient. So like if he can just get to his spots but I don't know if playing a power five conference defender makes a difference. He
I,
might that might change things.
yeah, literally Duke. I mean, it's not going to be easy for him, but I think this is a tough draw for Duke in this East bracket. Like you got teams like St. John's at 5, Kansas at 4, UConn at 2. Like I don't think Duke's going to make it out.
Of this region?
I, Out of the East, I mean, of course they could, but like St. John's, Kansas, Michigan State, I didn't even mention UConn. This is a tough draw, and like it's not Coach K anymore. John Shire, he's gonna have to really prove himself. I think he underwhelmed with Cooper Flag, Kon Knippel, and Kamal Malawach last year, losing to Houston. Obviously, Houston's a good team, but I just I get a weird feeling about Duke. I don't and I'm not saying they're going to lose to Siena. I don't think that, but I just don't really believe in them to make it out of the East.
I I I agree with what you're saying. Like maybe they make it out of the East, but they aren't gonna win it. That's for sure. Like
Y-
like you said, they just have that top heavy talent. I feel like they always kind of just let down. And even in the conference tournament, they almost lost to Florida State. And then they played a really close game with Virginia. And just throughout the whole season, even though they have come out on the winning side of games, like they beat Florida by one, and then they beat Michigan by a few possessions. Like, so I don't know, all these games, it's just one game. So that's all it takes.
Absolutely, but I am going to take Duke in this round of 64 against Siena. I don't think Siena. I mean, again, like Siena, I think it's about size. Can they contain Boozer? But I just don't think this Duke team's anywhere near indestructible. So,
I agree with you.
how about Ohio State TCU 8 versus 9?
These are two teams like we really don't know much about. I watched that Ohio State Michigan game and Ohio State gave them a good fight. The Big 12 is considered the best conference in basketball this year, so that's saying something for TCU. I guess you look at the records too. TCU's beaten Iowa State and Florida, so they have some good wins.
Yeah,
Um,
like that Ohio State. I've heard Ohio State kept Michigan really close and playing them well, but I mean, that's a conference matchup. Like you said, TCU beat Florida and they beat Iowa State. Like that's just as impressive in my opinion.
yeah,
So
you look at Ohio State beat Purdue and Wisconsin. Um,
good
so
wins, good wins.
there's a reason this is a 8-9 matchup. It's kind of a coin flip.
It seems like they're both pretty good. I mean, uh, but what I'm gonna say why I'm picking TCU. Ohio State is a football school. I haven't even watched Ohio State basketball this year. I've at least watched a TCU game this year. However, if you want to push back, if you think Ohio State's gonna win this, let's take them because I'm not too knowledgeable in this game at all.
Yeah, I like Ohio State. They've kind of been playing better second half of the season. This guy named Bruce Thornton on their team. He averages 20 a game. He's been over like a 15-point per game score the last 3 seasons. So I don't know. I think it's a good story. I like Ohio State there.
Okay, let's go with Ohio State. I can't
Yeah.
complain because I'm an Ohio State football fan. Definitely not basketball, but I like it. St.
Yeah.
John's, Northern Iowa, 512.
We probably don't have to talk about this much.
I don't
I
have
like St.
anything to say.
John's.
Patino's amazing. I mean, he's just phenomenal. St. John's, they killed UConn by 20 the other day in the Big East Championship. I don't think there's any reason to overthink this.
Yeah, they had a slow start to the year, been playing better second half of the year. Good story. I think like last year they kind of broke through. It was a little bit early, but like this year they've settled in and I think there's a good path for them here.
I do too. I mean, I talked about how like Duke is indestructible and how this is a tough draw, but St. John's is part of that being a tough draw. And I think Kansas is a very talented team, and we'll talk about them in a second. Um, but they're talented, but that doesn't make you a great team. Like they have Council, Trey White, the big, what's his name? I don't want to mispronounce his name, but you know who I'm talking about. And of course, Darren Peterson. But they can they play in structure with Peterson? Can they be consistent? Like you never know what you're going to get from this team. Is Peterson going to have 30 or three makes? I don't know. Is he even going to play? I don't know. But talent wise, this is one of the best teams in the field.
Yeah, Kansas, like, I don't know. I agree with you with their season has been a roller coaster, like between Peterson and then Bill Self having meetings with donors and closed doors. Just the way this whole season has gone, I don't think the March Madness tournament it's gonna magically just turn around and be sunshine and rainbows. I think, they'll win a game, they'll beat this Cal Baptist team, and then like you said, talent can only get you so far. And I think this season, like they have the talent, but clearly the chemistry and just the way the season's gone, I don't see them really making a run.
I agree with you. I think we're on the same page. So we're taking Kansas, and then
Yeah.
this is a tough one. 6 versus 11. Louisville versus South Florida. This is tough. I've seen people pick South Florida, but I've also seen Louisville's supposed to be a higher seed and South Florida is supposed to be a 12.
I think South Florida is one of the best, like high seed or sorry, lower seeded teams, or sorry, high. South Florida is one of the better higher seed teams. They have Tobin Anderson's their assistant coach, the guy who coached
Really?
FDU. Yeah.
And he
Um,
just took a job somewhere?
yeah, where did he go? Let's see. Tennessee Tech just took a job there.
Tennessee Tech. Interesting.
Can we just pause too for a side note? Like, just like my opinion on the tournament this year, I really do think it's wide open. As we saw in conference tournament, like the best teams kind of got upset. Duke was really close to losing there. Really, like it looks like it's wide open. I think like you have some high seeds that definitely shouldn't be there. Um, I don't know. I think like it's really there's a lot of 4 or 5 seeds that definitely could make a run at the tournament this year. It's not as top heavy as last year, I think.
Florida, Houston, Auburn, and who was it? Who was that fourth one seed? Um, Whoever it was, they dominated.
Arizona.
Arizona. That was last year?
No, no, no. Oh, last year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
I don't
like
know, but it was Florida, it was Auburn, it was Houston, and it wasn't UConn. It
it was
was
Duke. Yeah,
Duke. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. I
yeah.
forget about the ACC, but yeah, I mean, it's not as top heavy as last year. I don't think Duke's as good as last year, even though they kind of flamed out. I don't think Michigan or Florida, Michigan's pretty good. I don't think Florida's as good as last year. And I don't think Michigan's dominant. They just lost the Big Ten championship. I think Arizona's the best one seed. What do you think about that? Not to get too off track. I know we're talking about Louisville, South Florida too, but what do you think?
Yeah. Would you say Michigan? I'd agree with you there. Michigan, and
I think
then Duke.
Arizona. I think Arizona's the best one seed.
Yeah, because they won their conference tournament.
Right. The best conference.
Yeah, but like it, I don't. It's just yeah, toss up. I don't know.
Duke, I
So
just
wide
don't.
open.
I know. Duke, I mean, Duke's amazing, but I just, I don't know. I have a weird feeling about Duke. I don't think Boozer's as good as Flag. I mean, maybe he is, but then I don't like the team around him as much. I like Sar. His brother had a great ACC championship, but they don't have Con Knipple and Kaman Maluach anymore. Like top 10 picks. NBA
Yeah,
All-Stars damn near already, Con Knipple.
I mean they always have good guys. They'll probably have like two or three guys drafted again. So I don't know. Here, you want to just keep rolling?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah. So Louisville, South Florida. I feel like we got to pick an upset soon. And like I was looking at this one, and I was tempted in a lot of my brackets.
But I like it. I like South Florida. I don't. The only thing I know about Louisville is Michael Brown Jr. I think that's who it is,
Mhm.
right? Mikel Brown. He's a really good prospect, but I mean, you can't win a March Madness game by yourself against, like you said, one of the best low-seeded teams in South Florida, even if they should be a 12 seed. Let's go with South Florida. I think this is a good upset pick.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of were they dominated their conference all season. I feel like Louisville, even though they were ranked a lot throughout the season, I just like it's a fate of the ACC, and just like I think like they're a little bit overrated. Like last year, they let down. I don't see them like even though they're kind of back, I don't see them breaking through.
Didn't they disappoint to Creighton last year?
I forget who it was. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna pull up last year's bracket too.
I like it. I think it was a 4 versus 5 seed matchup that they just completely blew. And it was a popular one. It was like a 50-50 type thing, and they choked it. And Creighton ended up going kind of far, I believe.
Yeah, they beat lost to Creighton. Yeah, and then Creighton lost to Auburn next round. So
Hmm.
we're on into a
Goodness.
buzzsaw. But
Okay, so Creighton lost to oh, okay. I thought they went a little bit farther. Okay.
I like that South Florida. It's a fate of Louisville, and we don't think Louisville's gonna make a run out of that little stretch there. So with Michigan State or UConn or UCLA. So I like it.
Okay. And then Michigan State, North Dakota State. We're taking Michigan State, right? There's no upset pick here. Tom Izzo, Jeremy Fairs. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Michigan State, they've been good this year. Um, I don't know anything about North Dakota State, so I can't tell you, but all I know is let's see, I think this was the team. Yeah, they play like super fast on offense. They only lost like two conference games, so they could get off from three, but like, I don't know. I just don't see it enough to beat Tom like that. It Izzo storyline, and I don't
I
know what do you think.
agree. I agree. I mean, they're minus 2100 Michigan State. Yeah, let's take them.
I think
UCLA,
they'll fall short, but at some point, but not there.
like they always kind of do, and they don't have superstars. They have fears, but
Yeah,
yeah. UCF, UCLA, the 7 seed minus 225. So they're favored, but not by too much. 13-7 in the Big Ten. It looks like UCLA is the play here. What do you think? UCF beat
yeah, because
Kansas and
yeah,
BYU.
I know UCLA is the play. Um, UCF, it looks like they can like get blown out, where like they can put up a fight, but they can also get blown out more often than not. Um, it looks like UCLA gets blown out by teams that are way better than them, but I feel like UCLA is a solid pick. Like Mick Cronin's been there as much as I hate him and his attitude and the things he says. Like, but I feel like you got to take UCLA there. Donovan Dent, he made a run the tournament last year. Like, knocked off Marquette with New Mexico there. So I think UCLA is a good pick there.
I like it. Um, so we're taking UCLA, the 7 seed, then 2 versus 15, UConn, Furman. UConn, unless
UConn's
you
been off
think
the rails recently.
they lost to St. John's.
They
Do
lost to
you,
Marquette before the end of the season.
they did 2 losses to St. John's too.
Kind of got
Furman, nothing to really go off there. Furman lost to High Point by a lot to Troy, some bottom of the bracket teams.
they were 10-8 in conference. Yeah, no way we're going against. That was like a fluke run they made.
Yeah, I can't do it. Um, what do you want to do? Do you want to go down or do you want to stay in the East?
Let's stay in the East. Let's finish the East.
Okay. So Duke TCU. Is this where Duke goes out?
I think we had Ohio State.
Oh yes, you're right.
You're
Absolutely.
good.
Okay, so Duke Ohio State.
And then I, as much as let's see, Ohio State. Let's see. I want to see how they finish the season.
They obviously lost tight to Michigan. They beat Purdue in I don't know if that was in the tournament. That was early March. Michigan State, they barely lost to. They keep these games tight. They kept Virginia very tight. They beat Wisconsin.
They beat
They
Iowa. They beat Purdue.
in Indiana.
They lost to Virginia by 4. They beat Wisconsin. They lost to Michigan State by 6. So that was a close game.
They
This
keep these
it'll
games
it'll
tight.
be a close. This would be a close game.
But do we take Ohio State? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is where Duke goes down, even if they do go down.
No, it'll be a scare, I think, but I don't want to pick against Duke.
I like it.
Number one seeds have won 80% of meetings with 8 seeds, so I think we got to roll to Duke.
This is a tough one. 5 St. John's, 4 Kansas in the rounds of 32. We could easily pick St. John's. They're more consistent, but Kansas definitely does have that ceiling where they could beat a team like St. John's.
I do understand. What do you think? Do you think Darren Peterson can carry? Like, because it's
Not
it's
really.
really
No.
it's really how far Darren Peterson wants to take Kansas. Like, if he's going up and putting 25, 30 a game, could be a different story for everyone in the tournament. Like, he could just go on an insane run, but
Right. St. John's does have some bad losses at the beginning of the season. They lost to Alabama, they lost to Iowa State, they lost to Auburn, Kentucky. Games you
they
want to
don't
see them win at least 2 of. But
and and they can go cold on offense.
they really can.
Like, they lost to UConn by 30 while putting up 40 points one game. I know that's a one-off, but
They and that's a yeah, like you never know what you're getting from them. And the Big East, it's a weird conference. It's a good one, but
it's not as good as the other ones because you look at their out of conference, like they lost to Kentucky, they lost to Auburn, then they lost to Iowa State, they lost to Alabama, yet they were all close games. But
yeah. I'm almost good with picking Kansas here. I mean, I don't know. It feels like a weird, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to overshoot, but I see the inconsistencies with St. John's like I see inconsistencies with Kansas. What do you think?
Kansas struggles with rebounding and turnovers. So like I don't know. I think like St. John's defense might be a problem for them. And Kansas has shown the ability to get absolutely blown out. We've seen it
They have.
in
I'm
big
cool with St.
spots.
John's here. Do you th How do you think they're going to go into this game failing? You think they have turned the season around? They have turned the season around.
I like
Hmm.
St. John's here.
Let's roll with them.
Yeah.
Looking
Just the
at
way the season's going for Kansas. You can't
looking at
go with that.
Ken. Yeah, I agree. Looking at Ken Palm, St. John's the number 44 offense, but Kansas number 57. St. John's the number 12 defense, Kansas number 10 defense. So they're both inconsistent offenses, but Kansas should be a lot higher. I'd almost expect to see St. John's down there in offense. Um, you, do you think Rick Pitino's a better coach than Bill Self?
I mean, they're both great coaches.
They are. Let's
Look
roll
at
with
it.
St. John's. Kansas is
St.
too
Jo
inconsistent.
St. John's 2-4 versus top 25 teams. Kansas was 500.
Hmm. This is a tough
And
one.
then St. John's went 18-2 in conference. So I think it's a coin flip, but I like St. John's just because the way the season's gone for Kansas. I don't see it magically
I
just going great.
I agree with you. Okay, South Florida and Michigan State. Is there an upset here? I think it's possible. Michigan State, like as much respect as we give them, and rightfully so, they never go as far as they're supposed to. Never.
They don't.
Like
USF
they can upset somebody, but they can also really be upset.
in the past 3 years, three seeds have won all four matchups by double figures against 11 seeds.
Hmm.
But I mean, I just think like I don't know. I feel like Michigan State, like even though they were ranked higher last year, I feel like this team is better than that team.
I do agree. Definitely there.
USF, they played Alabama close. They beat Utah State, who's in the tournament. They beat Wichita State. So
Th Those
I
aren't
think
bad
like
wins.
yeah, they lost to VCU, who's also like an 11. So I don't know. I think Michigan State though. The Izzo, I feel like Izzo's got to go out on a high note
Is this his
with the
last
deep.
season?
I don't know. I don't think
Speculatively?
he's announced, but probably one of his last good chances. So
Okay. So let's roll with Michigan State, and then do you have UCLA over UConn or no?
talk about two teams I don't want to see win with two coaches that I couldn't hate more. But what do you think?
UCLA lost to Arizona. They lost to Gonzaga. They beat Purdue. I'm not. There are some impressive wins here. Illinois. They beat Michigan State. They could. They could. I almost want to go with UCLA. They could. This is a talent. This is a good team in UConn. I mean, this is probably the worst UConn team of the past 3, 4 years, right?
Not the
Even if it's a two
worst,
seed,
but I think they're playing their worst basketball heading into the tournament. Then like
right?
before they were always playing their best basketball.
I
I
kind of
think
I'm down for a UConn little hate pick because I don't like UConn. I don't like Dan Hurley.
I know I don't either, but I think they might bounce back.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
fine with picking UConn there, but we'll get to that in the next one.
Okay. You want to finish out the East?
Yeah,
Okay. Duke or St. John's? Is this where Duke can go out? I feel like they can shut down Duke, but can they score enough, St. John's?
I don't think so. I think Duke, you look at St. John's, all their big matchups they've lost against other conferences, and Duke's just dominated all season. There's no reason to think they can't.
Okay. So we'll roll with Duke, Michigan State, UConn. Do you see anything in Michigan State that makes you think they can beat UConn? They beat Kentucky. They didn't beat Duke. They beat Indiana. They did not beat Michigan. They beat Illinois. There are some good wins here. There really are some good wins here.
And I just think the cracks UConn has shown at the end of the season here. Um, Michigan State's just a well-rounded offense. So
Let's roll with
sometimes,
them. I think UConn's vulnerable.
yeah, I think like they can like physical it up, like you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I think like they can out physical them. I'm good with picking Michigan State, Big Ten over Big East.
let's do it. Do you think they can beat Duke though? I don't think they can.
I don't think so either.
Okay, so let's roll with Duke to make the Final Four. And then do you want to go to the South?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I have Lehigh beating Prairie View, but I don't have them beating Florida. Only two, what's it? Only two 16 seeds have beaten a one seed.
Yeah, and I don't with all four one seeds making the Final Four last year. I don't think. I just think with NIL like so top heavy, you know.
Yeah. And then Iowa, Clemson, 9-8. You said something about Iowa. Do you want to pick them?
Yeah, so that's pretty much the Drake team from last year.
Okay,
If they got Bennett Sturts, the point guard from there, and the same coach from Drake last year who made a run in the tournament.
true.
They kind of had a okay season in the Big Ten. They beat everyone they should have, but they kind of lost to no. They couldn't really beat anyone better than them. They did beat Nebraska once though, so
To
I
win.
just think like the ACC was weaker. They weren't as weak as the season last season, but they still were weak this season. And I think like it's more of a fade of the ACC. And I do like some ACC teams, but not Clemson. And I think Iowa, they've been there, and it's an 8-9, so it should be a toss up.
I like it. Vanderbilt, McNeese. McNeese is a good 12 seed. They're always a good team. But Vanderbilt is really good as well. They just beat Florida in the SEC championship or the SEC tournament, and then they kept Arkansas close in the championship. I'm cool with Vanderbilt here. I think they're a bit underseeded. They're a really good team in a tough SEC. I'm
I
good with
agree
them
with
here.
you. They made a
Okay.
run to the championship there. So
Yeah. Killed Florida just less than a week ago. So gotta roll with them. And then will they play Nebraska? Nebraska
yeah,
beating Troy. Merrimack beat Troy last year. So yeah. No upset there. But North
Nebraska was
Carolina,
undefeated all out of conference. So I think Nebraska's had a great year. They'll win a game.
I like it. Nebraska to the round of 32. Will they or no, North Carolina, VCU? I think there's an upset here. 11 versus
Yes,
6.
no Caleb Wilson,
Exactly. Exactly what I'm thinking.
the top 10 draft pick for UNC is going to be injured.
Maybe top
UNC,
five.
they would have made a run if they had him, but just how you saw in the conference tournament, they had a bye through the first few rounds, and then first game they played, they were down like 20, and then they came back and almost won, but they just haven't looked strong without him.
I like it. Let's go VCU. They're a legit good team at 11. Um, I the only thing is I don't want to pick too many of these 11 seeds over 6, and I think they're common upsets, but I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that on the other side of the bracket, so I like it.
Yeah,
Illinois, Penn.
that's a unique case too.
Right. Illinois, Penn. I love
Uh,
Illinois. Penn's solid. They got TJ Power, I think his name is. They beat Merrimack handily. But Illinois, Keaton Wagler, like Illinois is good. Illinois is pretty good this year. They got talent. They beat Texas Tech when they had Toppin. They did lose to UConn. They beat Tennessee, beat Purdue, beat Nebraska, just lost to Michigan State. So Penn
I agree with
isn't
you.
like they beat Yale. Like
Yeah, and they snuck in from the Ivy League. Like they weren't, I don't know, Yale would have been like a 12 or 13 where these guys. So I like Illinois.
I like it. St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I have no clue. This is a tough one.
I never really liked picking St. Mary's. I feel like they always let me down. Let's look at the St. Mary's. Who have they beaten? Played Vanderbilt, lost by 25. They lost to Boise State. Their
Santa
best
Clara
wins,
a few times.
their best wins Gonzaga by
Solid
10.
win.
These guys got knocked out in the conference tournament before the finals. I just like I don't know. I feel like Texas A&M, best their best players injured. I gotta find out.
Hmm. What do you think here? SMC favored 69% to win, minus 155, win 77% of the games in a simulation. What do you think? I'm cool with St. Mary's. I know they rebound really well, but but that's just if Texas A&M's best players out.
Yeah. I don't know. It's more of like, what do you believe in? Do you believe in like SEC and bigger teams and resources, or do you believe St. Mary's? Neither of these teams are going to go far.
That's
What do
true.
you, what do you
So
want to
te
go with?
I'll go with St. Mary's. I
Okay.
I'll go with St. Mary's. I don't think A&M's is good this year, especially if they're injured.
They
Um,
haven't been as good as years past. All right. So we have Houston over Idaho. No. Any
yes,
objections?
yes.
All right.
I don't know how to feel about Houston this year. Because they're obviously really good as they always are, but are they as good as when they had like Jamal Shed and last year? Um, I think they are. I
They
think they
still have
are.
Sharp.
They do. They have Sharp, they have Uzan, they have the bigs, Sanak and the other guy, the defensive guy, and now they have Flemings. And I'm not the biggest Flemings fan, but he's really good. He's really good. There's no denying it.
Like Houston beats everyone they should beat, but I don't feel like they're going to knock anyone off. You know what I
That's the
mean?
thing. That's the thing.
Like they'll
So
take
it
care of business, but I don't know if they're going to be like, you look at their best win on the season, it's either Kansas or BYU. And I don't know how great those are looking back now.
right? Yeah, I remember the BYU game. It was a big win. It's not that big of a win. So, and then Kansas, obviously. I mean, you beat AJ and DP. You didn't beat two of the best teams in the country. So, Houston, I think they get by St. Mary's, but do they get by Illinois?
Yeah, I'm good with putting Illinois by VCU. So it's going to be
Yes,
Houston,
sorry.
Illinois in that Sweet 16. And I think that's a toss up there. That's Illinois versus Houston.
It is. It is.
I'm looking
Wagler
at
versus Flemings. I feel like Houston might be the better team overall, though.
Illinois played Tennessee. They won by 13. Houston lost by a basket. So
True. That was a while ago, though.
Houston definitely plays in a better conference. So I would take that into account with their record.
They do. I'm cool with taking Houston. I think they're just still a really good team, no matter what way you want to look at it.
I feel like, yeah. And I feel like with him breaking through last year, Kelvin Sampson, like I feel like Illinois, I feel like they always let down.
I
You
do,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
they do. They do. And like
They
I love
always have a
Wagler.
high, they always
They're
have a
always
high
like a
ranked
three,
team.
four, two seed. Yeah. And they never get the job done. And they always like they'll go into a game against like a Houston or a UConn and just get smacked. So I love Wagler. I think he's a little raw. I'm cool with Houston here.
Okay, I'm good with that.
I think Florida Vanderbilt might be even tougher though.
Yeah, I like that rematch the conference tournament. And if they play again, I
I
might have to
really
go Florida.
I really like Thomas Haw. I'm cool with Florida here. I
I
think a
feel
lot of
like
people
they'll
are I feel like a lot of people are gonna try and pick this upset because Vanderbilt just beat Florida. I'm cool with Florida here. I am.
feel like that's the worst offensive game you'll see Florida play and defensive, honestly, in a while. That was how
Yeah.
Vanderbilt was playing at the start of the season. Vanderbilt's also beat Arkansas, so they beat the SEC champs as well. That was earlier in the season. So, I mean, definitely going to be a hell of a game. I just don't know if Vandy breaks through. I think Florida kind of with the keeping with the one seed trend, like
I like
upsets
it.
aren't going to be as frequent, I think.
I agree. I'm cool with Florida here. They end up playing Houston to go to the Final Four. This might be where
This
I
is,
kind
I
of,
think Florida wins the rematch.
you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you,
I kind of like Houston. I feel like I trust them more. I don't trust Xavier Lee. I don't trust Boogie Flynn as much as I trust a Kingston Flemings and an Emmanuel Sharp and a
facts?
Tugler.
I forgot about Xavier Lee, bro. He's going to get clowned
Yeah.
so
Like he's
hard.
not Walter Clayton. And I don't think Florida's as good this year. I think Houston is pretty good. I think Flemings is really good. Togler,
Yo,
Sanat, Sharp.
going back, should we pick Vandy over Florida?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't mind Florida there, but I think Houston takes care of business either way.
Wow, I didn't think I'd be picking Houston out of this bracket, but now
I
that
know. Me
we
neither.
talked it through, Vanderbilt or Florida, I think Houston wins. Or what do you think? I think Vanderbilt could give them a good fight, though. Like they play very,
I think they can give them a fight, but can they win it? I don't know. I'm cool. I'm cool, but are you cool taking Houston out of the bracket? I think they're
yeah.
just such a well-rounded starting five. And Florida is too, but Xavier and Lee, I don't like them. And then
They're
Vanderbilt
Houston's an
could win
old
that.
team too.
Yeah, they are. Like they have experience and coaching and
Yeah.
I'm cool with taking Vanderbilt though over Florida if you want to do that. They just killed them.
Let's do
I
it.
maybe
I think a lot of people are gonna buy into the Florida back to back. I think they'll
okay.
I don't know. That's a team that just beat them. They beat them pretty handedly. It'll be a
Yeah, they
close game.
did. They took care of business easily just less than a week ago. So let's go with that. And Houston goes to the Final Four.
Boom.
Houston Duke again in the Final Four,
Yep.
right? That was the Final Four last year, not the Elite Eight, right? I think
Yeah.
was the fun. Yeah. So sliding over to the West, Arizona got him taken care of by LIU. I do. Arizona, I really like this year. I really like Arizona. Jaden Bradley, Braden
They're al-
Burries, Koa
they're always
Pete.
high. They're always a high seed and disappoint, but this year's gonna be different.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. You got to think LeBron's going to be at the games, or at least one of them. You got to think, right? Bryce James on that sideline. I just think they're a
So
really good team on both sides of the ball. The number five offense, the number three defense, they're really good.
yeah, they've beaten everyone. They play in the best league in college basketball. So I agree with you.
I like it. I mean, they won like 25 in a row to start the season. That's dominance. So
Yeah.
I like it. Villanova, Utah State. This is a tough one. Utah
Yeah.
State is favored by 1.5, minus 142 versus plus 120, 8 versus 9. They're favored, but it's about as tight as it's going to get.
Yeah. I know people love buying into the Utah State. They always have good metrics.
They do. They're always
I
good.
and
I think it's a
they always kind of flame out in the tournament. I don't know. I would rather take the sure thing with um what's his name here? Uh Kevin Wright or Villanova coach. Let's
is
see.
it Jay Wright's son?
Kevin Willard. That's what it
Okay.
is.
I was about to say I'm sick of this. Oh, I hate Auburn.
Yeah, he coached
Um,
Maryland and Derek Queen last year. He went on a run. I think
okay, let's do it.
they take care
Yeah,
of business.
let's do it. Let's do it. I like it. So both eight seeds on the top of the bracket. Moving over Wisconsin High Point. This is tough. I think because it's an upset you want to pick. High Point's always in the tournament. They were last year at least. They're experienced, well coached, been here before.
They run
They
a
are,
fast, they run like a fast offense and shoot a lot of threes. So like that's why people like them. But
yeah, it's a 12 seed you want to pick, but Wisconsin's really good.
yeah, and Wisconsin's been playing better the second half of the season. They Who did they beat? Did they beat Illinois
They
in the
beat
conference
Michigan.
tournament?
Or sorry, they just played Michigan really well though. They were I think they beat Illinois and then they were up big on Michigan.
Yeah, and Wisconsin's been playing good basketball. Nick Boyd and Johnny Blackwell, the two best players, like average like 40 points a game together. I think,
Good guard play, good shooting, good
yeah,
quality wins and games recently. I like Wisconsin, even though
this
it's
is a
a
this is a tough bracket. This
this is a tough bracket.
this West
Yeah,
region,
because then you get Arkansas, the 4 seed, who I think I'm going to take over 13 Hawaii. What do you think about that?
no argument.
Yeah, Acuff the GOAT. Malik Thomas is so tough. Billy Richmond, all these guys. DJ Wagner off the bench. Coach Cal. How could you not pick Arkansas?
Yeah, no, they're gonna make a run.
And
So
that's going to be a really good 4-5 matchup between Wisconsin and Arkansas.
they'll make a run. Next
Y-
game, BYU or Texas or what's it, NC State?
Yeah,
Two teams we don't really probably have going far at all.
I agree.
Um, Depending on who comes out of that game with Texas and NC State, do you think I think NC State's going to come out of that game. Do you think they could give BYU a run for it, or do you think Debance at
I
least gets one game?
I definitely do think they can give him a run for it. However, I want to see AJ continue to play. I think he can get them a win in the first round. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, a lot of people watching. I'm going to take BYU here. Yeah,
I'll
especially
give
because you
them,
don't know who you're going to get.
yeah, I'll give BYU one game. I want to see Debance play at least two games in the tournament. So
I like it. I completely agree. But NC State, as you did say, they can give BYU a run. BYU is nowhere near indestructible, especially without Richie Saunders.
yeah, NC State was a tough out in the ACC, even though their record might not say so. They were a tough game. So
Absolutely. And then
uh,
Gonzaga, Kennesaw State's a notable 14 team that you'd want to pick. Gonzaga obviously plays in a weaker conference for a 3 seed. I don't know. What do
Kennesaw
you
was
think?
Kennesaw was 500 in conference. So I don't know.
I like it. Let's roll
I
with
don't love
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, but that's a hard fade.
I like how you're thinking. 7 Miami versus 10 Missouri. I've seen Miami's a rough 7 seed.
I agree with that. Miami, they don't really have any like good wins. Like their best wins, Louisville and NC State, who two teams like were kind of fading. So
Yeah. Whereas
and then
Missouri beat Florida, they beat Kentucky,
yeah, I'll at least give Mizzou
Vandy.
that. Yeah, they beat Vandy, they beat Tennessee, they beat all those teams that are in the tournament.
They just
So
kept Arkansas really close. I love Missouri here.
yeah, that's a big Mizzou spot.
And then Purdue versus Queens, their first time in the tournament. Purdue just beat Michigan in the championship to win the Big Ten.
We're
They're
not
legit.
fading Purdue. Yeah.
No, not here. And
All right,
then Arizona, Villanova,
Arizona.
like it.
Wisconsin, Arkansas. This is going to be a good game. I think
It's
we
gonna
go
be
with our boy
tough.
Darius Acuff.
How do we not? Like Wisconsin is a
Yeah.
really good team. But how do we fade Acuff here?
Do you have, Let me ask you a question. Do you have any concern about the Coach Cal choke history? Like,
100%, 100%,
like
100%, absolutely. But but how do we pick against Acuff? But no, I do. Yeah, I do. Like this guy's more of a player developer than a championship winner. He just is.
Wisconsin has beat Illinois. They beat Purdue once. Did beat Michigan. So
Are you convicted to pick Wisconsin?
this is a trap. This
It
is
is a
a
trap.
trap game.
Like I really just don't want to pick against Acuff, and I love Malik Thomas too. Can Wisconsin play defense?
Let's
Looks like
see.
they can, yeah.
Yeah, they play better defense, but Arkansas's offense is really good. They're
It
both
is.
pretty similar against top 25 teams. They have a same record in conference. Let's go
Yeah.
Arkansas just because they won the SEC.
And Acuff can just pull up in your face and drain a three. It's ridiculous.
But the
Absurd.
two the two guys on Wisconsin averaged 20, Boyd and Blackwell. So that is a danger zone.
This is a danger zone for sure. But I think whoever we pick is going to get knocked out by Arizona. Arizona's so good. I don't know. I don't know if they will because these teams are so good too.
Yeah. And then I'll go ahead and pick Arizona over Arkansas. I agree with you. We
I
can't.
like it. I like Arizona too much.
All right, going
B
back to the other side of the bracket. Or should we should expand on that a little more, right?
well, BYU versus the Zags.
Okay. I like what do you think? This is a weak Gonzaga squad. I know
I
BYU's banged up and they've let down a lot this year. What do you think?
like Gonzaga beat Oklahoma, they beat Bama, they beat Maryland, they beat Kentucky, UCLA, and Mary's. BYU has just disappointed me and disappointed me. They beat Texas Tech, but that's no topping. They beat Iowa State, but like I think they lost to him too. I mean, it's just a tough conference.
Like the
I
eye
kind of like
test,
Zaga.
yeah, the eye test BYU hasn't really passed.
I know.
Too
Like
many
every
games
time I
where
watch
like
them,
getting
I'm like,
blown out.
because I watch them all the time. Yeah, I watch them all the time to watch AJ, and I'm like, what in the world is this god awful team
Like
doing?
they're always
They're down
down
40 in the first
15
half.
points. Yeah.
So I like it. Zaga, I can't pick BYU any further. No matter how badly I want to see AJ continue to play, because of course I do.
And
Cool,
then
Zaga.
Purdue versus Mizzou. I
What do
can't
you
go against
think?
Braden Smith.
You can't?
They won the Big Ten. Braden Smith. Purdue was top five all year at the start of the season, and they kind of once conference play started, kind of fell off a little bit, and they fell into that this like range. But they probably would have been like a 4 or 5 seed if they didn't win the Big Ten. So like I don't know. I don't see why you can't go.
Yeah. My only thing is that I think this is, I think Missouri could be a good upset team, but Purdue's really good. Is that where you want to pick it? I don't know.
Yeah, I
And
would
I, th
rather go with the sure thing I know
I like
with
it. It's
their
just
coach.
I do think Missouri could beat BYU or Gonzaga. That's the one thing I'll say. But I'm cool with Purdue here. That it's not a team I want to fade.
And then that puts us Purdue Gonzaga. What do you think? I like
Purdue.
Purdue. This is a
But I
weaker
like
Gonzaga
Arizona.
squad.
But I like
And then
Arizona.
Arizona Purdue. What a game. This would be awesome. And I agree with you. I feel like Purdue, they kind of let down at the really big spots where like they won't lose to a team that's worse than them, but Arizona's just been so perfect all season. How can we go against it?
Absolutely. Purdue does have the number one offense, but they struggle defensively. I like Arizona here.
Yeah. When Purdue's not getting the free throw line, they struggle. So like Arizona,
I
they're
like
good,
it.
man.
Michigan. I think they take care of UMBC or Howard in the Midwest. I think. I think.
UMBC, they could be.
Hey,
They
UMBC is
could be
always a
coming
sleeper.
coming for blood again.
But
Georgia versus St. Louis. What do you think?
um I kind of like Georgia, but I don't know. Do you like St. Louis is a good team.
I
They
I
beat
really like St. Louis.
You want to roll with them? They beat
I mean,
VCU. They beat Santa Clara.
they beat Dayton,
They did once.
so they beat all the best teams in the A10. They honestly
Georgia,
shouldn't have lost that game versus Dayton. That was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like
I
Avila
know.
hits that three with 10 seconds left, and then they just come down and get a tip in. So
I like St. Louis here.
yeah, like Georgia, who have they beaten? They
They
beat
beat
Bama.
Bama, but anyone could beat Bama on any given night, in my opinion. Which, hey, do we just take St. Louis, skip over the TT Akron one right now, and pick Hofstra or no?
Oh,
Preston and Meade
I don't know.
against against the number 67 defense in the country, according to KenPom.
I don't know.
No, we're going with
This
Bama.
Hofstra lost to UCF.
True, but tightly. They beat
Yeah,
Pitt. They beat Cuse. Yeah, they
I don't
killed
think
Merrimack.
Bama's. Yeah, I don't think Bama's as good as years past, but I
You
don't
think
want to.
LeBaron? You think LeBaron Philon gets the job done?
Yeah, I can't bet against Nate Oates. He's just been there too many times.
Okay. How about
What do you think?
Texas Tech Akron? They don't have JT Toppin. Is this a game Akron can win?
Yeah, what do you think? I wanted to ask you because this is the one I had circled.
Yeah, let's take them. Texas Tech doesn't have their two best players from last year. Akron is just plus 270. They beat JMU. They,
Like, let's
yeah, I mean, Akron's not like the
Texas
number.
Tech, Texas Tech without Toppin lost to Arizona State. They lost to TCU. They lost to BYU. Then they got blown out by Iowa State. So I
Yeah,
think
let's take Akron here.
it's still a little upset.
You got to take some.
And they've been there before. Their coach has experience. I think they can make a run.
I like it. Can they beat Alabama though? Probably not.
Akron's best player averages 20 points per game.
He's
Tavari
tough.
Johnson.
He's
So
tough.
he's got to take him the distance.
But Bama's got LeBaron Philon. He's kind of a beast.
Yeah, I feel like Bama, Bama.
I like it. And then
Yeah,
Tennessee. Do we have Tennessee, Virginia? Or are we picking Brian Atumnu off the bench?
um,
Oh, and
no,
do
I
you
like
like
Virginia. I like Virginia.
I do too. So let's go with them. What about Miami, Ohio, SMU? Can they take down Tennessee? Either one of them?
I actually like SMU because
I
they're
do like
they had
SMU.
they have they're one of their better players was injured throughout conference play at the end of the season, and they kind of fell off a little bit without him, but he's coming back. So I think with him, they should hopefully be able to put up a fight. And like I saw something like their resume is pretty good, like SMU. Like let's see, they had a pretty like representable resume where they did beat A&M, they beat UNC, lost to Duke within 10 points, just barely lost to Virginia. But then they finished the season awful. But that was without their guy, so it's up. I don't know. I think Tennessee, but I don't like any of those teams coming up.
I'm cool
All
with
those teams aren't
Tennessee.
good.
But can they beat Virginia, Tennessee?
I
No.
don't think
Okay.
so. Virginia,
Okay.
man, did you watch any of their games? They're really good.
They kept Duke really tight. They kept them really tight in the ACC chip. So I like
Their,
it.
I feel like their coach has got everyone on the same page. They're going the right way. So I think they break through.
I like it. Kentucky, Santa Clara, SGAU versus JW.
So this was one I'm gonna ask you about because uh this Santa Clara, they beat St. Mary's twice this season. Um, they couldn't get over the hump to beat Gonzaga, who's the best team in their conference. But you look at Kentucky, they played Gonzaga, they lost by like 40, where these guys lost to Gonzaga by like 10 each time.
That's true.
Kentucky's been nothing but a disappointment this season. I think that's an upset, Santa Clara.
I'm cool with it. I like Owe, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, like I feel like Kentucky fans have been really negative this season about just their whole team. I feel like it's just got kind of upset written all over it. I don't know. Even if not, I have Iowa State beating Tennessee State. So I think Iowa State would probably come out of that division anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm good with Santa Clara beating Kentucky.
And then Iowa State over them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Virginia over Tennessee. We got Bama over Akron, and we got Michigan over St. Louis. Or do you have any second thoughts about that?
No, we can't fade Mich. We can't go against Michigan.
Okay. I kind of like
Maybe,
Iowa.
maybe in one of these next rounds we could fade Michigan though.
Bama? Could Bama take Michigan?
I don't think Bama's going to be able to do it.
Okay.
I think the winner of that Virginia Iowa State
I kind
game
of agree.
could.
I like what you're, I like it. I like it. Iowa
This,
State?
this one's so hard. I feel like Iowa State's due to break through, right? They've
I do
always like been
too.
knocked out second weekend.
They just kept Arizona really close in the Big 12 tournament. I don't mind
Yeah,
Iowa State here.
yeah. I like going with the team from the better conference.
I do too. I do too.
Virginia's good, and it's good to see Virginia back.
Absolutely. But do we take Iowa State over Michigan? I think we can.
Hold up, let's see. So that would mean three out of our four teams are Big 12 in the Final Four.
Yeah. No
What do you
matter
think?
where. I don't know. Do you
Like
I don't
I do believe in it though. I think it can happen.
but I kind of don't mind Michigan here.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone's gonna have Michigan picked, you know what I mean, or Florida. I mean, we did pick a different one with Houston.
Hmm.
Who did
Absolutely.
I want to look at Michigan's schedule a little more closer now because at the start of the year they were like dog walking everyone and blowing everyone out. And now I feel like they kind of slowed down second half of the season. Like before they lost, let's see. So they beat Ohio State by 4, they beat Wisconsin by 3, Michigan State by 10, Iowa by 3, and then they lose to Duke. But then, so I don't know. They've just been playing closer games. And let's see, Iowa State.
Iowa State has
They
lost
absolute Iowa State dog walk Purdue too.
they did. They did. A couple months ago. What do we think?
I like Iowa State. Let's go Big 12. I like this Big 12.
Let's do it.
We're gonna back the best conference. I
But
like that.
I got Arizona wiping them. Maybe not wiping, but
Yeah,
I
what
got
was the
Zona.
regular season matchup?
Arizona like handled them like 2 times. I
Yeah,
mean, the last one was tight, but
I think Arizona gets it done.
I do too. I like Arizona in the championship.
And then a
I
Houston
like
Duke rematch.
I like Houston. I like Houston. I think they have the size and the defense to match up with Boozer, and I think Fleming's is better than any guard Duke has. I like Big 12 championship.
I like
What-
I like how everyone's kind of like not really taking Houston seriously either this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Like last year, everyone was bought in on them, and then I don't know. Since everyone they let everyone down, people might not be as happy to pick them. But I'm willing to come back to the well here.
Yeah, I'm so out on Duke. Duke's an amazing team, but I feel like it's just Boozer and Sarr's good and his brother had a good game, but I don't
Yeah, with
think it's the
John
team.
Shire, like I feel like he gets his talent is getting him there, and he's a.
Yes,
I feel like we haven't been able to judge like how good of a coach he is, and prove us wrong. Like
right?
uh, I'm in that
You
mindset.
you gotta prove it. You gotta prove it. You had Cooper Flag, Con Knippel, and Kamal Malawach last year, and you lost to Houston. Why would you beat him this year with a worse
You were
team
up
against?
7 points with a minute left.
Like you
No
gotta
excuse.
prove, and like you gotta prove it. Like you said, you
So
gotta prove it. So I love Houston here. A Big 12 championship, Houston, Arizona. I feel like I
what
feel
was the
like
regular season?
it was Arizona
Arizona.
beat them twice by 5 and 9.
I feel like in that championship game though, like just weird stuff happens,
Weird
man.
stuff
Like
happens. Is Houston
Houston's gonna
due
be the
for
more
it?
wow. I was not expecting to come out of this with Houston.
I know. And of course, a joint bracket, it just kind of leads you to it. It just kind of leads you to it.
Redeem last year. Because I don't think it like what no team west of like where is it? Like the Rocky Mountains has won the NCAA championship or something. Like
Really? Huh.
no team west of
Like
what?
I know the philosophy we've gotten here with is that Arizona is just dominant and really good on both sides of the ball. But I feel like it's the same with Houston, right? I mean, Arizona might have the more consistent offense, but Houston absolutely has the ability to do this. And they're so due. They're so due with Kelvin Sampson, and they have Flemings with this team that they had last year. I think this is the perfect year for Houston.
I I agree with you, and I can see it. No team west of the Rocky Mountains has won championship in the last 30 years. So I like
I like
Houston,
it.
dude.
I like it.
All right,
I
this is
like what we
fun.
ended up here with.
Gotta rename this.
Nice. What do you got for a
D
point
and
total?
D D&D picks. What?
I got one
1920? What? What do you mean?
a point. How many total points will be scored in the championship game?
Oh,
155?
yeah. What do you think? Like around like 70 to like 80-ish, right?
Yeah, 80, 75.
What's 75 times two? Like down like 150. I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's go. The perfect bracket. It's right there.
I like it. What are some things just some storylines to talk about before we hop off?
Yeah.
Preston and
Should we talk
some
through some matchups like first round more
Yeah,
in depth?
and first I just want to mention some Merrimack storylines. Like you got Malik and Mead's brother Preston, the freshman leading Hofstra. Who knows? Maybe as a 13 seed they could upset 4 seed Alabama. You got Brian Atumnu off the bench for Wright State against Virginia. He should have stayed at Merrimack and we probably would have been here. We would have been talking about Merrimack as a 15, 14 seed.
Yeah.
If Brian Atumnu stayed, I don't know why he left. Maybe it's closer to home. It's not really, but whatever. Um,
No.
you got Jordan Minor, Virginia. He's obviously not there anymore, but it's a good storyline.
Who would you say is the most overrated seed in the tournament right now?
The most
Like,
overrated seed in the tournament.
like if you had to look across, be like, all right, this team is not where they should be.
I think Texas Tech belongs as a 5 seed, but without JT Toppin, they're not as good.
Yeah.
They're not as good. Like they're just not. So I think BYU at 6 is a little high. I have not been impressed to say the least with them this season. Whenever I turn them on, which is a lot to watch AJ DeBonsa, I'm just disappointed. They're getting blown out all the time.
What were
I
they like
think,
10th in the Big 12? Right.
yeah, like a tough conference, but sorry, not sorry. Seven, Miami, I think's a little high. I think
What about Gonzaga?
I think it's a little high. I think they're not a three seed. However, you got to respect it. They always do this, but yeah, I think three is a little high. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a little high for them, but I understand it. They were dominating early on. Maybe Kentucky might be a little overrated, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, I don't think they're really a seven seed. They're kind of overrated. Then if we had to look on the other side, Louisville, I think, is a little overrated. But
I like it.
six
I do
seed.
think they are. They always are overrated.
What's your
What
like? What's your favorite matchup in each? If you had to go in each of the region, what's your favorite first round matchup?
I think Louisville, South Florida is going to be a great one. I also think Ohio State, TCU will be good. I think Villanova, Utah State's a great one. I think BYU versus NC State could be a really good matchup. I think Miami, Missouri is amazing. I really like St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I'm picking that as the most interesting first round matchup out of the South.
Not a lot of great matchups there.
No, I think Georgia, St. Louis is fun. I think Bama, Hofstra. I'm excited to see Preston and Need, the freshman of the year in that conference, against an Alabama defense that's never very good.
Okay.
And Kentucky, Santa Clara, I think is going to be fun because Santa Clara is a really good team, but I like Owe. Kentucky's solid, but I totally agree with you. Let's take Santa Clara there. Kentucky's overrated.
Looking back at
And
Hofstra, Preston
and I
and
like
Meade doesn't even have a photo on ESPN.
disrespectful.
Which one
He's
seed has
tough.
the
He gave
easiest?
Merrimack the work.
Which one seed has the easiest path, if you were to think?
I would say Michigan, but that doesn't mean they're going to get there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say Michigan, because Florida would have to play Vandy early on, or Nebraska, which is solid. Maybe Duke even. Duke's kind of got a layup, dude. Kansas, like that's a week 4 seed. Michigan State, week 3 seed. UConn, they've kind of been off the rails here at the end. I feel
I
like
see
Duke's
what
low-key got a cakewalk.
I see what you're saying, but you have St. John's at five, you have Kansas at four, who, yeah, they could be a weak four seed. They could also be a really strong one. You just never know what you're getting out of that team, for good and for bad. Michigan State, that's a really good team at three, and UConn at two. I don't think it's an easy walk. I think when I put a solo bracket together, I don't know if I can pick Duke to come out. They're obviously amazing, but I just have a feeling that I think St. John, I think Kansas is a team that not will make a run, but could make a run.
All right, and let's do first four matchups for the today and tomorrow, or Tuesday and Wednesday. Quickly
Let's
here, quick
do it.
fire. UMBC Howard, who you got? You know anything about these teams?
I got UMBC. I feel like they're a better basketball program.
I like it. Yeah, they got some good energy behind the program there, and they won a few years ago. NC
Yeah,
State, Texas. What do you think?
I got NC State there. You the
Yeah,
same?
Will Wade, I like that. I think they'll break through and get into the tournament in his first year, and then that's good enough for this year.
Do you think do you think SMU can beat Miami, Ohio?
Yeah, I think so. I think Miami, Ohio's that's it.
They just
Sorry.
lost to UMass.
Yeah. SMU's getting their best player back who's been injured. What's his name here? Got to find it. Uh, Miller. So yeah, they should be good. And then Prairie View and Lehigh. Who you got?
Lehigh, CJ McCollum, baby. They're
Let's
coming for the
go.
upset. Not actually, but yeah, Lehigh.
All right,
All right,
dude.
we
Good
got
stuff.